All right, welcome to our in-body practice. And we always want to set an intention for our practice. And I invite you to sit comfortably on the chair or the floor. And just bring your awareness inwards. And for this practice, just don't close your eyes, but actually gaze around and find something in your environment that feels beautiful, pretty, joyful. And just keep your gaze on that object. And at the same time, see if you can bring your awareness into your body. And just allow yourself to connect with your intention for your practice. And your intention doesn't have to be necessarily what you want to achieve or accomplish. See if you can allow yourself to connect with the state of being. Perhaps asking, how would I like to feel? Or what would it be like if I felt more joy? And throughout our practice today, just come back to that intention. Allow yourself to reflect on it and the movements and the body that you'll be experiencing it throughout. So I'm just gonna blink our eyes, blink, 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 and then squeeze and slowly open. And again, bring your focus on that object. And at the same time, bring your awareness to your body. And then from here, close your eyes. Just notice how that feels. Is it easier or is it a little bit more challenging to bring your awareness into the body? And now there are no other distractions to look at. And see if you can name your current emotion. How do I feel right now? And if you cannot name your emotion, maybe you can just name your sensations. What sensations you're experiencing in your body. Just describe them so you are aware. So my intention for this practice is to help you create a sense of feeling grounded, supported, so that you can expand your capacity to hold more of life, to hold more of emotions or of your emotional experiences of life. So we're going to be utilizing body to alchemize the waves. So the waves of the emotions that we are all blessed to experience through life, relationships, connections. So right now, notice the foundation on which you are sitting. So right now I'm sitting on the bolster. Just really visualize your pelvis or the sit bones, the foundation of your pelvis. How do you experience your sit bones on the bolster? Do you feel them connected to the bolster or to the chair, whatever you're sitting on? And what if you want to connect a little bit more? What is it that you need to do? Do you need to like settle in more? Do you need to fidget? Do you need to move so that you really feel that contact with your seat? And as you do, see if you can allow your spine to grow taller from that foundation. Just notice how it feels. Like right now, as I settled into my foundation and I allowed my spine to grow taller, I also feel a gentle activation in my core muscles. And just notice if you feel that or not. So for me, it's not bracing, it's just gentle activation to support my lift. And for me, bracing would feel a little bit more tight. So then explore your next foundation. So like my legs are touching the floor. So right now I'm gonna use my hands to just gently press into the legs and feel a little bit more connection of the legs to the floor. Just feel the support of the earth on my body, feeling that connection. And from here again, see if you can allow your spine to grow taller. And I'm just using my hands to push gently down on the legs and grow taller. Notice how that experience feels when your legs, your pelvis are all connected to the floor. And I don't know how it is for you, but my body just starts to gently move side to side. So if your body is not doing that, well, allow yourself to explore. What if you slowly just start waving side to side? And for me, it feels really good when my hands are on the legs and I'm still feeling that support and groundedness. And that's what I would love for you to visualize for our practice. Your emotions are just like waves, the waves of the ocean. And your body is the container, it's the big ocean that contains and allows all the emotions to come up, down, and through to create the flow for the ocean. So if you are using your hands on your thighs, just go ahead and shake them and just maybe shake a little bit of the torso if that feels good, or just explore. So all of this is exploration. And I'm here to guide you, but at the same time, listen to your body. So just like my body wanted to release that. And then from here, bring your awareness to your pelvis again. And see if you can start tucking your pelvis back and exploring the back of your pelvis, back of your sit bones. And just notice how your body is collapsing and your shoulders surrounding as your pelvis tucking. Maybe relax your head here as well. And just notice this position of the body and how the emotion might be flowing through this posture of the body. Because our body is constantly talking to us through posture as well. And then slowly start coming forward with the pelvis. So come to that centered position, but then also start exploring by bringing your pelvis a little bit more forward, so that you are all the way forward and feeling the front of your sit bones. And just notice how that feels. So when that happens for me, so my chest comes forward, my heart comes forward, and I feel like my throat is opening and my head wants to move forward and kind of back a little bit so that my throat is stretched out. And to me, it always feels good to place my fingertips on my throat and just kind of gently create this soothing connection, soothing touch. So just imagine that you're moving forward and experiencing all different emotions of mobilizing energy. You're walking forward, doing something, but at the same time, by bringing the touch to your body, you're creating the signals that, yeah, I feel safe and I can move forward. I have time to touch. I have time to pause. I create time to explore, to notice my body. And then come back to center. And we're also going to be practicing this sigh, which is a very much natural physiological response of the body, which is also now confirmed by scientists that it's one of the ways body releasing that surcharged energy and allows you to come back to that state of regulation. So naturally, like when we sob, when we really cry, we go to that contraction and then automatically this sigh comes out. So like the body already does that, but today we're just gonna continue practicing it. All right, so from here, we're gonna have a pelvis that's gonna be nice and stable. It's not gonna move, and we're just gonna focus on moving our upper body. So from here, we're gonna bring our shoulders down and in and let the chest to go back between the shoulder blades. So my head goes down, chin down, my throat is closing. And see if your pelvis can stay more or less neutral. Notice how that feels. So then from here, we're gonna start opening, shoulders are pulling back, chest is forward, head is back, chest is open. So notice how perhaps this movement reminds you of the ocean wave, right? So the ocean comes up and then in, down, and then the ocean or the wave of the ocean comes all the way up and opens the space to flow. So that's what we're creating here with the body, this gentle ocean waves. And again, closing it in. And now let's explore as our legs staying connected to the ground, as the pelvis staying connected to the cushion, and the hands are on the thighs. We are grounding ourselves. And now can we explore the entire spine, pelvis, and the upper body moving, creating the space for the ocean to come in, for the wave to come in, and then go and flow into the ocean, go to that contracted position, and then opening up again. And with the nervous system, we just want to create nice, slow, gentle movements to help the nervous system to calibrate. So that's why if you're already in that agitated, fighty, flighty energy, and you're constantly like doing cardio or some kind of like big movements, then you're essentially not allowing your body, your nervous system to recalibrate. So that's why the practice of somatic flow here is just to be present, to be more present, to creating more space to feel, to sense, and maybe pause of any of this position. And yes, if that feels, especially like if you're more in that freeze, collapse kind of state, you may actually feel like, okay, well, maybe I want to experiment, and you're welcome to do so. Just flow a little bit faster, creating a little bit more kind of speedy rhythm. Just see how that feels. So in this contraction and expansion is what allows us to create space to hold more of what life offers us as we build resiliency. Just like when we build muscles, when we work on contracting and expanding, we create elasticity, elastic muscle that can withstand stress on both ends, expanded and contracted. And for me, like that sighing just happens naturally as I created these waves. So hopefully that's naturally happens for you, or you can create the sigh and just notice how it feels. All right. And then from here, placing your hands on your thighs, so fingertips pointing towards you and elbows are out. And again, nice and slow, let's try to create like this vortex of energy or whirlpool, right? And just that slowly moving like to one side, coming to the center and the other side. And again, your pelvis can go back and the torso goes back, and then pelvis comes forward, the torso comes forward, and your arms serve like pillars. They're connected to the legs, legs connected to the earth. And you're just allowing your body to move the energy in. Emotions, essentially, it's the energy in motion. And the body has, again, that is a container that contains, but also can move through the energy. And let's go ahead and explore the other direction. Ah. And then we're gonna come back to center. And again, for me, I just kind of want to feel a little bit of that shaking. And of course, if you've been sitting with your legs crossed, you may want to also allow yourself to shake your legs a little bit. And maybe stretch and just feel your legs on the floor in this position, or you're sitting on the chair. And then again, we're gonna cross for just a little bit longer. So if you're familiar with the structure of your vagus nerve, so it starts at the brain stem, and you're welcome to place your fingers there, just like at the kind of base of the skull at that indentation. And then it's this long cranial nerve that connects us to the heart. So which is that ventral vagal branch, social engagement, love, safety, connection. So that also goes through our facial muscles. That's why we see the levels of stress or the levels of connection on the face. And we naturally get drawn to the people who smile, who have that soft look. So we know that these people are inviting for connection, right? And then this long nerve is going through pretty much most of our organs and connects to all the other nerves, and then also connects all the way to our belly. So that's why we also have a lot of research nowadays that confirms brain and gut connection. So I'm gonna place both hands on your belly. And if that's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. And just notice this whole energy that is happening in the belly, which in the Eastern cultures is known to be the second brain. And we actually have a very high concentration of nerves here. That's why no wonder when we say intuition, we a lot of times point to the belly. So because the nerves give us a lot of signals, and also there's the signals that go to the brain stem, to the survival brain for the nervous system to act upon. And we're also going to be practicing this sound that essentially was created by Peter Levine, who is the founder of the Somatics Experiencing. And this is the sound that is called VOO, which is V-O-O, VOO. And when we create that sound, it actually activates the area in the gut. And I invite you to practice the sound with a really deep, deep voice and see if you can feel the vibration and the activation in your gut. And that really helps to calm down nervous system, or like especially if you are like anxious or have a lot of agitation going on, and also regulate your digestion. And I believe the story goes that he had a nurse, especially during COVID times, and she was going through a lot of stress. And that's what he recommended her to do. And she experienced really good effect. And then she had to teach other nurses, and they also benefited from that as well. Okay, so let's see if we can benefit from that as well. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and when we exhale, we're going to create the deep, deep sound, woo, and see if you can feel that vibration in your digestion, in your gut. Inhale through the nose. Woo. We're going to do it 2 more times. And one last time. And we're just gonna sit here and feel the vibration. You're welcome to relax your hands if you want. And just notice what's happening in your body. So essentially, we are like tuning forks. So that's why certain sounds create certain vibrations, and hopefully you felt that vibration in your stomach. It creates a certain frequency. And I believe that when we hold that frequency in our body, and we hold a variety of frequencies, but sometimes we're just not in tune. And when there is that kind of right, quote unquote, frequency, we're tuning up to it. So like for me, as I practice this sound, I definitely felt the vibration in my belly, but at the same time, my whole spinal column just had this sensation of grounding and stability and solidness or power. And at the same time, I felt calm, content. So that's why it's tuning forks, and we have so much variety of music and musical tones. That's why some of us resonate with some music and not the other. And this is like that match frequency and tuning up. And of course, this practice has been around for so many, many thousands of years in yoga, known through chakra and chanting mantras, because we like literally can tune up a whole chakra column. And also from the vagus nerve perspective and nervous system, It's very much calming and stimulating for the vagus nerve because it's going through the vocal cords, and of course connects us through the brainstem to the gut for that particular sound. So it's pretty cool. We can tune up and tune down if we want to, and if we know the tools. Okay, so if your eyes are closed, I invite you to open your eyes and perhaps again bring your awareness to that object that you chose in the beginning to look at that evoked a sense of joy or pleasure in your body. Just notice, can you be with that object outside of you? And can you also be with yourself, with your body? So you're maintaining that sense of presence. And then we're going to finish this practice again with the focus on the belly, on the digestion, and the connection of brain to gut, and calming down your nervous system. Or you're actually allowing yourself to simply get grounded so that you are energized again. So for this restorative pose, we'll be using a blanket, and blanket is just there to help you feel the connection. So to again activate the sensory input. Or you can have this flexible squishy ball. I'm using the gorgeous ball from Yoga Tune-Up. But again, you may want to play with it beforehand. If you did, and you have it, then you know what to do with it. So, but that's just another idea. But most people have a blanket. So we'll be placing a blanket, make sure it's nice and soft. So you don't want to have it hard or too much of it. It's just going to be just a little bit of the sensory input activation, but not too much. It should feel comfortable. You should be able to breathe. Okay, so we're going to put it in the center. And I absolutely love this pose, like in the middle of the day or before going to bed. So I prefer this one over Shavasana, where you can just lie down on the back. So however, if you have issues going on the belly, or of course, you know, if you have pregnancy or whatever, you don't want to do that. So, but try to see what happens. So we're just gonna set it up. So we're gonna have a belly on that object, and then you can have your forearms one on top of the other, and have your forehead on the forearms. And see how it feels to you. And of course, if it's not comfortable, you're welcome to come back to your back and just lie down there. We're not going to be here for too long, but it's up to you to decide how long you want to be there. And then whenever you feel like that's enough for you, you're welcome to come up and see how you feel. Notice how you stand, how you walk, how you breathe. And yeah, thank you for joining.